On today's episode of Into Your Head podcast, hello, what's it like to live at the other side of the cat interstate superhighway wall, and lots more. Absolutely fucking fantastic, hello. Into your head, into your head, into your head, into your head, into your head. I've always been a great believer in the dictum Tesco price promise, €1.06 off your next shop. Today, your comparable grocery shopping would have been cheaper elsewhere, so here's the difference back, followed by a barcode and a series of letters and numbers that you have to type. You have to type them into a computer, or else you could always bring the voucher along to a shop, to a Tesco shop, and hand it to them, and they'll say, "What in the name of Christ is this? I have to ask my manager what to do with this. I've never seen one of these before. We only send out 8,000 of them a day, 1 minute past 1 in the morning for some reason every night after you do online grocery shop. It sends you out an email and it says, here's your money back that you would have saved if you hadn't shopped here. Here's a voucher for it. If you print this out, firstly your printer won't print the barcode for some reason, but if it does, you bring it along to the shop, they'll say, oh, never seen this before, never seen it before in my life, no idea what to do with this. Absolutely haven't a fucking clue. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. That's what it is. The world is ridiculous. The world has become ridiculous as far as I'm concerned. You have ISIS going around all over the place chopping heads off. You have people going around in shops giving out vouchers and not telling their staff what to do with them. You have getting very dark outside. I think it might be going to rain, or it might be going to be dark all day to make me think like it's about to rain, so I won't leave the house. Except I will leave the house. I'm not going to have my day governed by darkness anymore. Darkness can just ignore it. I'll put on my earphones and that'll block out the sound of the darkness, and then maybe I'll put out on a blindfold and that'll block out the darkness of the outside world, same way as I do when I go out. Anytime I go out, I wear earphones, I listen to podcasts, and I block out the outside world. It's not really practical to block out the view of the outside world when you're walking or driving. Luckily, I don't drive. I do walk, however. I block out sounds, but I don't block out sights. Maybe when the Google Glass thing comes along here, maybe I'll start blocking out sight. That's just what I need now. Can barely see where I'm going as it is. I'm going to start blocking out sight so I can see my tweets in the corner of my eye. If I find a corner of my eye that works, I've got corners of my eye that don't work properly. Got little blind spots in them. They come along and they say, hello, I'm over here, and I look over there and say, oh, I didn't see you there. And they'll say, why not? I was standing right in the corner of your eye. Do your eyes not have corners or something? And I'll say, as a matter of fact, they don't. My eyes, like most people, they don't have corners. They're round. Admittedly, not perfectly spherical. Or are they? I don't know. Are eyes spherical? I don't think so. I think they're more sideways egg-shaped. What do you call a sideways egg? I suppose you call it egg-shaped, except it's oblong egg shape, I suppose. Horizontal egg. If you got an egg and put it horizontal, it'll probably tip over a little. Can you lie an egg horizontally? I don't think you can, because one end would be sticking up a bit further than the other end. It'd be more like a pear than anything else. Eggs are pear shaped. Pears are the shape of an apple that's being squashed in the middle. It's had a belt put around the middle, like some sort of fashion apple. Fashion apparatus apple, whatever the hell that means. Anyway, hello. And well, oh, sorry, it's being so long. Incidentally, it's being less frequent than ever. The shows at the moment. I've been otherwise engaged. I've been on one of my exercise regime obsession phases and spending every waking hour exercising. Excuse me for putting my longevity before my making crap for the internet. Don't worry, haven't gone away though. Haven't gone away. Just going away from regularity, I suppose. Although I'm increasingly regular now. I've got a good diet, so I am very regular. I eat all sorts of fibres. That make me crap. But I don't eat crap. I just make stuff that produces better crap. You don't want to be eating crap directly. You want to eat stuff that produces crap. And then you produce the crap at the end of the digestive process after you've got it. Because if you just eat crap, then you're not going to get... Your digestive system isn't going to be able to do anything with that except crap it out. And then, ironically, that's of no benefit to your system. No benefit. Anyway, hello and welcome to the show. Two cats walk into a bar. One of the cats goes straight up to the bar counter and says, "Hello, can I have a pint of your finest tap water, please?" And the man behind the bar says, "Certainly, sir. You decide you're going to enjoy it while it lasts. Are you? Have one last hurrah on the tap water before the thing comes in on it's a Tuesday, I think it is, the 1st of October." And the cat says, "What in the name of Christ are you talking about?" And the barman says, "Oh, that's right, of course. You wouldn't know, being a cat rather than a householder. You're probably a household cat, but no, you're probably not a householder, so you don't know that the water meters are kicking in on the 1st of October. So every pint of tap water is going to cost you. It's going to cost you dearly. They're going to send you along a bill every 3 months, and it'll say, 'You had a pint of tap water the other day.' Although now that you mention it, if you have it in a pub rather than in your own house, it won't affect your bill. Rather than maybe take it down, it'll take down your bill a little maybe. Although you're probably paying by the 1,000 gallon or something, so no, it's probably just because it's all rounded up probably. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't make any difference at all. Maybe I'm talking through my arse. Has that occurred to you? It probably has. Has it occurred to you that I'm probably talking through my arse? Metaphorically, of course. Do cats understand metaphors? They probably don't. If you told a cat a metaphor, it would probably say, "What in the name of Christ are you telling me?" And the cat says, "What in the name of Christ are you telling me?" And the man behind the bar says, "My pint exactly. A pint of my tap water. Of course, doesn't bother me. I'm in the business. We pay water rates already, I think. I'm not sure. Not entirely certain. I think we already pay water rates. I don't think this water metering thing is going to affect us. Or is it? Maybe it will. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. Probably, this is all shop talk. I'm probably sorry to bore you with this, Mr. Cat. Is that your name, Mr. Cat?" And the cat says, "No, that's my species. My species is cat. My name is none of your fucking business. I want to remain anonymous in here. Want to remain an anonymous cat in a bar. Is that too much to ask? Is that too much to ask?" And the man behind the bar says, "It is too much to ask when you ask it twice for no reason and haven't even given me a chance to reply to the first instance of you asking. You've asked it twice when you only need to ask it once and wait and see if I responded. Admittedly, if I didn't respond after a few minutes, then you'd have to ask it again, and then asking twice wouldn't be too much to ask. But no, you've asked 100% more times than you needed to so far. Well, as far as you know." And the cat says, "Good point there, good point." And the barman says, "Oh, it's just tap water. It's not even filtered. Can't be that good." And the cat says, "You don't understand marketing, do you? This tap water has been marketed at me for the last 6 months. I've been watching television commercials rather, and branding by Irish Water saying, 'This is Irish water.' So I've got the brand stuck in my head now. So every time I get a bit of tap tap water, I think, oh, this is great stuff because it's being marketed at me. And the man behind the bar says, this is why cats don't rule the world. And the cat says, why? Because we're positive about tap water, one of the world's finest life-giving resources. We're positive about it. That's why we don't rule the world. Is that right? And the man behind the bar says, yes, it is right, because this is a world of oh, there's a car over there that's just stopped on the wrong side of the road, 3 feet out from the curb, not too far from a corner onto the main road. That's dangerous. I don't like that. My cats go up there. That's just the other side of the cat interstate highway wall at the entrance to the next estate. My cats go over there sometimes. I don't like people disobeying the rules of the road over there. Oh, it's moving on now. I think I'll probably stop to pick someone up or something. Oh, it's trundled forward a bit. Its brake lights are gone off, so he's taken his foot off the brake pedal, but he's still not sure where he's going. He's pausing he's at the corner of the main road and he's on the wrong fucking side. Someone's going to come whizzing round and slamming it. Oh, he's gone now. Slamming into him. And then they'll have a big row. They'll say, oh, I've been in this situation where I've been in a car and someone crashed into it and it was their fault. And they said, that's your fault. And I said, no, that's your fault. And then I brought up my knowledge of the rules of the road, which helps enormously. Knowing the rules is helpful, I find. Knowing the rules of the road, even if you don't drive. The cat says, wait, are we still on the bar story? I can't remember. I think oh yes, I got distracted, but I was telling the cat bar story and I got distracted by a car over there, which would affect the safety of my cats. If they're crossing that road and they're looking left for cars, and that car is coming from the right when it should be coming on the left and it's on the wrong side of the road, my cats mightn't be expecting that. They're not as advanced as humans. They're not going to be watching out for people who are on the wrong side of the road and not obeying the rules of the road. So please have some consideration for my cats, for Christ's sake. For Christ's sake, have some consideration. That's a god-awful estate over there. You go into the main road of it and you go down, and then it bends to the right, and then it bends to the left, and then it goes on for about another 10 minutes, depending what speed you're going at. And there's houses all along it. Little road. If you're at the beginning of that road, you're living on a 90-degree bend, and you're watching all these cars appearing to come straight at your house, and they just get to your front gate pillar, and then they suddenly slam to the right, just as you think they're about to slam into the front of your house. It's probably terrifying. Although maybe they're used to it because they've been living there for close to a decade now. Those houses were built before the ones I lived in, even though they're slightly further out from the town. It's funnily enough, well, not funnily enough, just unusual. Usually in these towns, they'll build the houses and then they'll build more houses in the next phase further out from town from that on the next available green field. Well, no, they did these backwards. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's quite a backwards town at times. No offence to anybody who runs this town. Not that anyone does. Nobody runs this town. He abolished the town council some time ago. It's run by a fucking committee of the county councillors, a metropolitan committee of the county. I don't know how it is, something like that. Let's not get bogged down in local politics. This is a worldwide programme. You don't want to be bogged down in the politics of there's the postal delivery going into the next estate now. It's disappeared behind that house that's terrifying to live in. Didn't slam into the front of it. That's pretty predictable if you're watching that house for the last 7 or 8 years. But if you've just moved into that house and you see that car coming straight at you, your first thought is probably, oh look, there's the post coming. Then your next thought is coming, Christ, it's coming straight at my sitting room window. And then it slams its brakes and goes round the corner, 90-degree bend, following the bend in the road. It's actually an S-shaped road. It zigzags all over the place. This is getting rather tedious for you, probably. But so what? It's not tedious for me. This is what I see when I look out my window while I'm sitting here at my podcasting setup. And that's so. What is podcasting if it's not commenting on the world around you? Admittedly, that's just a world that's at 2 o'clock from where I'm sitting now. But if you want me to comment on what's at 10 o'clock from where I'm sitting, all that's over there is some folders and a fucking printer. And if you want me to comment at what's at 25 past the hour from where I'm sitting, that means turning my face away from the microphone, so it probably ruins the sound. And it also means just commenting on a pile of crap in the corner there. Nothing to see there. Nothing to see there. Don't look over here. Nothing, as they say on the No Agenda podcast. Don't look over. Hey, what's that? Don't look over here. Nothing to see here. That's a jingle they have on the No Agenda podcast. You kind of have to be there, which I'm not.
Into your head.
Matchstick cats. Matchstick cats. Matchstick cats. Matchstick cats and stuff.
Are you a cat? Or do you know somebody who might be? Then tell yourself about Matchstick Cats, Neal's webcomic. Brand new episodes at intoyourhead.com.
Monkey nuts. That's what they call them. They call them big steaming, shit-eating, piss-piling, clouds rolling in over the sky like they own the place. Clouds don't roll in. They don't come in from space. They roll around. They roll around from another part of the earth. They're just going round and round. Round and round the atmosphere they go. Where they stop, probably snows, or it rains, or it farts on everyone, or the cloud just kind of disappears in an anti-climax. Not that you'd expect a climax from a cloud. It's just a cloud. It just rains. There's no climax about raining. It's an anti-climax if there's a black cloud building up all day, as there probably will be today, which is why I'm going to cut this podcast short soon and go out and get my exercise in before it fucking does. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, you have a fucking treadmill. You've talked about this before. Yes, I do have a treadmill. I use my treadmill when I get up, but you can't be on the fucking treadmill all day, every day. It gets old after a while. So I get up and go out for a walk outdoors as well. I go outdoors, I go out the door, I go up the road, and I go out to the main road, and then I pick a course. I don't pick a course. I don't choose a course. There's only one course. You turn right, because if you turn left, you go out past the opening of that God-forsaking hellhole of an estate at the other side of the Cat Interstate Superhighway, and then you go out beyond that and there's nothing more. There's just the countryside and nowhere to walk if you don't want to get run over. So no, I don't choose a course. I go right and I go down towards the town, and I walk 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 and I walk, and then I probably do some shopping on the way. I go off about my business, whatever I do during the day, which is none of your business, and then I come back here and then I say, rain, I beat you again. I beat you again. I'm back here. Haven't been rained upon, although sometimes I am rained upon. I'm rained down from the heavens by this fucking rain. It says fuck you, which we'll probably be doing more of because we're heading into October now. The summer is over. The summer's been and gone, been there, worn the t-shirt, then put on an anorak because it's getting fucking cold. It's going to get colder and colder and colder. It's going to keep getting colder and colder. Not that I care. I'm going to go somewhere sunny in the middle of winter for a holiday. That'll shut the fucking weather up this year, so fuck off. Anyway, no, where am I going with this? Nowhere particular. Now, I know what you're thinking there. You're thinking, oh, that's very interesting now. That's very interesting. You've been distracted by something. You've probably got a newspaper in front of you that you're looking at. You think, this is something I can just absorb with my ears, this audio program, so I'm going to look at something as well. I can absorb media through my eyes and my ears, and they can be two different media. I can be cramming media down through two of my my gullet like there's no tomorrow. You're probably eating as well while you're at it, or maybe you're doing that thing that I used to do as a child, where you'd get out an old-fashioned handheld cassette recorder, and there was an earphone socket on it. You didn't have earphones in those days. Your house that you grew up in as a kid, if you were me, wasn't a culture of earphones. Earphones in those days, there wasn't. The personal stereo hadn't been invented yet, so if you got earphones for something, or a little crappy little one piece ear thing that you just used if you were listening to your radio from your hospital bed or something, you didn't want to disturb everyone else. But no, in those days. Anyway, there was an earphone socket on our cassette player in the 80s, and I noticed that if you plugged a handheld microphone into it, a cheap handheld microphone that we happened to own, that I think came with a ghetto blaster or something, you plugged that into the earphone socket, then the sound came out of the microphone head like a little speaker. So I used to do that. Where was I going with this? I got to this. Oh yes, I'm saying yes. You're absorbing this audio content through your ears. You're probably reading a newspaper or Twitter or a blog through your eyes, and you decide to cram one of those microphones into your face and play something into your face and have it playing into your mouth. Or maybe you decide to speak into your mouth while you're also listening to this, in which case, unless you're very good at multitasking, whatever you're saying into the microphone is probably what I'm saying to you here, so you're breaching my copyright, so beware of that. Please read the very clear, there's a link under each episode of this podcast to the very specific Creative Commons license under which this content is issued, so please draw your attention to that before you accidentally duplicate it. But no, now that I think of it, you're probably not talking into a microphone while you're listening to this and reading stuff. That would be overkill, which is exactly my point. It is overkill. You don't need to be absorbing media through every orifice simultaneously. No, there's enough media. Well, for one thing, there's the media of the world around you. If you're listening to stuff on your earphones, you should be using your eyes to look at the world around you, not a second media that you read. No, absorb the world around you, and that's that in itself is a media. You don't think about it like that because it doesn't come through a screen. If I'm looking out the window in here over the Cat Interstate superhighway wall, and I'm watching the terrifying stuff that's going on with the cars going around that bend there, that's media to me. So I suppose I'm being hypocritical now because I am watching a second media with my eyes, but I'm not listening to stuff here, unless you count listening to me, which I don't, but you should, because this is media to you. It's just not media to me because it's me. It's just me. It's just me. That's all. It's just me. I say just me. I'm me. I'm my consciousness. I can't just say just me, because to me, it's not being immodest or anything, but to me, as my consciousness, I am the universe, until I know, the way, that probably sounds terrible. I need to explain that thought. The way, many centuries ago, we used to think that the universe consisted of just the world around us for a few miles. Then we realised the world was round. There was a whole planet around us, but then we still thought there's nothing outside of here. The whole universe consists of just Earth, and then we found a whole new world around us. I assume at one point, before man learned how to walk or move, all we knew, and before we grew eyes, before we heard ears, before we knew, before you could see anything around us or hear anything around us, we thought the whole universe consisted of just our brain and our thoughts. We were just sitting there as an amoeba, the first amoeba who grew a brain that eventually evolved into a human. Thought, oh, this is interesting. There's a whole universe out here consisting of my thoughts. There's nothing outside of my thoughts, just my thoughts. That's the universe. And then it grew eyes and ears, and then it said, oh, there's a universe outside of my consciousness. There's a few feet of water or something around me, and there's some other amoebas. That's interesting now. And then the whole universe universe expanded from that. So there's nothing selfish about that thought. It's just, that's just the way it is. That's all I'm saying there. That's all I'm saying there. Don't panic. Take a chill pill, getting all offended, going, oh, he's saying the universe revolves around him. I am not. I'm just having an original thought. Just an original thought. Is that a crime? It probably is if the thought is something like, I want to bomb the whole universe or something. Just like what's that experiment they're doing that Professor Stephen Hawking thinks is worried could destroy the whole universe. You know that experiment they're doing, the physics thing with the Kreutzjakov, not the Kreutzjakovs, the thing where they're colliding they're colliding atoms or something like that, except not colliding atoms. The Higgs boson something. They're doing some experiment. They've got a pipe and they're colliding atoms and something like that. I don't understand it. I'm not a scientist. But Professor Stephen Hawking supposedly does, and he's worried that one of these days they could cause the universe to collapse in on itself, or that it would create new universes that would destroy this universe or something along those lines. Now, basically, that experiment could destroy the universe in a nanosecond, and there's no way of knowing when or if it'll happen. So he's a bit worried about that. You see, Professor Stephen Hawking, you don't accuse him of being obsessed with the universe being just him, but he can't move, so he should be. If he has every right to be like the amoeba who just knows about the universe around him, but he doesn't. It's a great mark of the man. He thinks about the whole universe and what's beyond us, despite not being able to move. So compare Professor Stephen Hawking to that amoeba I was telling you about a minute ago, and you'll think, Christ, that amoeba is a right selfish, self-centered gobshite. See, maybe amoebas are self-centered gobshites, or at least the ones at the beginning of the universe war before they evolved into us. So I don't know. Selfish amoebas. I'll just add that to the topics list. Selfish amoebas. There we go. Anyway, I think we call it a day.
Into your head.